Summer 1940. Europe has fallen. Nazi Germany dominates the continent. Britain stands alone. The Battle of Britain wasn't just a fight for the skies, it was a battle for survival. After crushing France in mere weeks, Hitler believed Britain would surrender. But Winston Churchill had other plans. On July 16, 1940, Adolf Hitler ordered Operation Sea Lion. This was the date he issued Führer Directive No. 16, which ordered preparations for a potential invasion of Britain. But before he can launch an invasion of Britain, the Luftwaffe must eliminate the RAF and gain control of the skies. This was the Battle of Britain, one of the most crucial air battles in history. Hitler initially sought a peaceful resolution with Britain, believing they might be willing to negotiate. But when Winston Churchill took office, all hopes for peace disappeared, with Britain refusing to surrender. Hitler ordered an all-out air assault to bring the nation to its knees. The Luftwaffe's mission: establish air superiority, destroy the RAF, and pave the way for Operation Sea Lion, the full-scale invasion of Britain. The first wave of attacks targeted British shipping routes in the English Channel. The Luftwaffe sought to strangle Britain's supply lines and lure the RAF into battle. German bombers and fighter escorts repeatedly attacked merchant convoys, hoping to weaken British resistance before a full-scale assault. But the Royal Navy and RAF defended their waters fiercely, ensuring supplies continued to reach Britain's shores. While the Luftwaffe gained some victories, they failed to cripple British shipping. Instead, the Channel battles became a test of endurance, with both sides learning valuable lessons about strategy and air combat. Realizing that attacking British shipping wasn't yielding the desired results, the Luftwaffe shifted their focus to destroying the RAF's airfields and radar stations. If the British air defenses could be crippled, then the path to invasion would be clear. For weeks, the skies over Britain were filled with intense dogfights. The RAF's Hurricanes and Spitfires clashed with German Messerschmitts in brutal air battles. The Luftwaffe targeted key airfields such as Biggin Hill, North Weald, and Manston, aiming to destroy British aircraft on the ground. Radar stations along the coast were also prime targets, as the Germans sought to blind Britain's early warning system. If they succeeded, an invasion of Britain would follow. The RAF needed every advantage it could get. But Britain had something the Luftwaffe didn't: radar, and it was about to change the rules of aerial combat. In the 1930s, British scientists, led by Sir Robert Watson Watt, developed a revolutionary technology: radio detection and ranging, or radar. By bouncing radio waves off enemy aircraft, radar stations could detect incoming attacks long before they reached British shores. This network of radar stations, known as Chain Home, lined Britain's southeastern coast. Unlike the Germans, who relied on traditional spotter planes, the British could now see the enemy coming over 100 miles away, giving fighter pilots precious minutes to prepare for battle. As the Luftwaffe launched wave after wave of attacks, radar allowed Britain to counterstrike with precision. Instead of wasting fuel and manpower patrolling aimlessly, the RAF could intercept bombers with deadly efficiency. Every aircraft mattered, every minute counted. The genius of radar wasn't just in detection, it was in coordination. The Dowding system, an early warning command network, funneled radar data to RAF control centers. There, officers calculated the enemy's position and directed fighter squadrons with pinpoint accuracy. Despite heavy damage, the British kept repairing their airfields and replacing their lost aircraft. The RAF was battered, but they were far from defeated. The resilience of their ground crews and pilots ensured that Britain's air defenses remained intact. A critical mistake changed the course of the battle. A German bomber mistakenly dropped its payload on London. Britain retaliated by launching a bombing raid on Berlin. Enraged, Hitler ordered the Luftwaffe to shift its focus to London instead of the RAF's airfields. This shift in strategy was a turning point. Instead of continuing to attack the RAF's vital infrastructure, the Germans began targeting civilian areas in what became known as the Blitz. London faced relentless bombing, with thousands of civilians killed and homes destroyed. But rather than breaking British morale, the bombings only strengthened their resolve. The RAF used this critical period to regroup and recover. With radar stations still operational and new pilots joining the fight, Britain's defences remained strong. On September 15th, the Luftwaffe launched its largest assault yet. Over 1,500 aircraft clashed in the skies above Britain. The RAF, though heavily outnumbered, fought back with everything they had. By the end of the day, the RAF had shot down nearly 60 German aircraft. The Luftwaffe had suffered one of its worst defeats. 2 days later, Hitler indefinitely postponed Operation Sea Lion, realizing that without air superiority, an invasion was impossible. The Battle of Britain was Germany's first major defeat. It shattered the myth of Nazi invincibility and proved that Britain would not surrender. The courage and sacrifice of the few, the RAF pilots who defended Britain, ensured that Britain remained free, a crucial turning point in World War II. Churchill famously said, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." The bravery of these young pilots, many barely out of their teens, changed the course of history. Had they failed, the world might look very different today. The Battle of Britain was more than just an air battle. It was a symbol of resistance. Against overwhelming odds, Britain stood firm. This victory gave the Allies hope and kept the fight against Nazi Germany alive. Without it, the war may have taken a very different turn. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe for more history content, and let us know in the comments, what do you think was the most decisive battle of World War II?